Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and today I'm going to be making a point about my most controversial and hottest take I've ever made. A take that's so bold and brave that I may end up getting cancelled 6 feet under just for making it. Ladies and gentlemen, I, Mudahar, believe in the prospect of self-defense. Now I know that might be a hot take to some individuals out there, but generally, I like to counter Clown World sometimes. I believe myself to be a pretty reasonable individual, and the reason I've stayed away from talking about this usually, this kind of stuff, is it always invokes the worst side of of politics, if you will. You've got crazy, gun people on one side who are just absolutely jacking off to waste somebody. And you've got people on the other side who are like, oh, somebody broke into my house. Well, I guess I'm going to sit in the bathroom and wait this one out. Maybe I'll have a debate with them. And I'm somewhere in, like, normal land. Like, I'm not in clown world. I just want to make the whole statement. If somebody breaks into my place, I believe in the full idea of self-defense and preserving your life and your family's lives, if you will. Now, of course, I went onto the internet. I went onto the old Tweeter side over here, and I made a point, okay? So to understand, a few days ago, I watched this video, which isn't even available anymore. This is streamer hears an intruder break in, and ends up having to shoot the intruder. Simply because, alright, they defended themselves when somebody broke into their place. Now, they were playing, like, League of Legends, a video game. They were constantly losing, and it seems like the biggest L taken was the person who was breaking into their place. Now, rationally, I'm one of those people where I'm like, listen, I don't think... taking somebody's life is a very traumatic and wrong experience. But if somebody breaks into your house, at that point, who's more guilty? The person breaking into your dojo, or you for defending yourself? I have to imagine that somebody breaking in chose to actually fuck around and find out and ended up screwing themselves over in the long run. At the end of the day, the fault of the person is the one breaking in. That much is a given. Now, I know some people would say, but Muda, what if they're breaking in to steal something to feed their family? Still, it is their fault that they broke in and basically chose to end their lives by threatening, yes, literally threatening somebody who lives there. Because here's the one fun thing, okay? If you ever live out in rural areas, I've lived out like basically 10 minutes away from the local police station, okay? Meaning 10 minutes before the call gets in and the cops show up, okay? That far out. I've been living like that for the last few years. And generally, when seconds are counted, cops take... When cops take minutes to come, you only have seconds to actually defend yourself with whatever you have on hand or your own two fists. Now, of course, I made the whole statement, didn't know this needed to be said, but based on messages sent, which were DMs and people quote-tweeting me and talking about me, because the fun thing about social media is, like, anybody will take whatever statement you say and immediately flip it around to something that you never made. I believe self-defense is important. I'm not horny to kill someone, but if you break into my house and pose a threat to me or my family, I'm pretty much forced to fight back. That's literally the bulk of it, okay? I literally just said right here, I'm not horny, okay? It's not how it works. Now, I guess where some confusion can be taken is me not literally, like, stating in the most deadpan way, cops take minutes. 45 ACP takes second. 45 ACP referring to a caliber of a specific sidearm, okay? That's pretty much how it is, alright? I got a little quirky in the end, but I think the point still stands, alright? Bat to the face takes seconds, alright? Versus law enforcement, you gotta wait 10-15 minutes for. I believe where it is legally okay for you to do, again, I'm saying this for the record, wherever it's legally okay for you to do, alright, in your state, province, or country, defend yourself to the utmost extent of the law. That's pretty much all I can say, alright? Simple as that. Now, of course, one of the things that brings me into Clown World are reading some of these responses to the situation. For instance, one of them is, self-defense doesn't have to be lethal. If you're shooting, aim for the legs and feet, immobilize and hopefully disarm. Enlighten me if you don't agree, though. Yeah, actually, this is how you know people who make these statements have no life experience whatsoever. Now, the first time I ever fired a gun was probably around the age of 13, 14. I come from a family where hunting is like a recreational sport and something that we do for survival. So my family really lives out in the middle of nowhere. So for them, having meat on the table means going out and doing it yourself. And I grew up knowing how to hunt. So when you know how to hunt, you've probably fired a gun or two in your life. Now, one thing to understand about this situation, if you're shooting for the arms, aim for the leg and feet. Let me tell you something about this, okay? Do you understand how hard it is to hit that shot? There's a reason why, whenever people go through, like, actual military or police training, they teach you to shoot center mass, because it's the easiest place to hit. Life is not like a Rainbow Six Siege match, where aiming for the head is the easiest thing to do, okay? You don't have aimbot in reality, okay? Alright, it's pretty hard to get a shot to begin with. Now, of course, one thing that you also don't understand is there's also femoral arteries in the legs. Basically, if you hit those arteries, it'll take like 1 minute before you start passing out, and then after that, around 3 minutes later, you'll probably die from the blood loss itself. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, shooting in the legs is not as, it's not like the movies, okay? It's not like, oh no, you're disabled, uh-oh. Yeah, that person's gonzo. The other one was dogs are 1,000,000 times more effective for preventing break-ins than a gun. Which could be true until the, burglars bring in some food or snacks or something to quell the dog, if you will, right? I don't know. You are also putting the dog's life in danger as well, too. The guard dog isn't an end-all be-all. If somebody really wants to steal your stuff, they'll kill the dog if they have to. At that point, all right, you've put another life, all right, on the line, okay? You couldn't there's a lot to really consider there. Of course, then there's one which I hate the most. How I sleep at night knowing I value my possessions more than your life. Well, first off, you don't sleep with a shotgun in the bed. That's a recipe for disaster. That's also not good gun safety, so to speak. Also, again, I want to refer back to the original statement. Where did I ever mention possessions? You think I care if somebody steals, like, anything in my house? Dog, you could steal whatever, okay? At the end of the day, I have insurance for the things that matter the most. I don't have insurance for my life or my family's, all right? I don't have a bubble shield that I can equip. I don't have a panic room. So when it comes to my family or my life, you bet I'm going to defend it. Ladies and gentlemen, I would rather go to court to defend myself than live in than forever remain in a box 6 feet in the ground. Didn't know this was a controversial idea or take, but apparently it seems like it is sometimes in the clown world we live in. Then, of course, by the way, most people who are breaking into your house just want your TV. You think that people are coming to murder your family? How many enemies do you have? All right, calm down there, Jethro. All right, let's get into the mentality. Somebody busts into your house. How are you supposed to ascertain what their goal is? Are they just there to steal your shit? Do they want to leave behind witnesses who got up and spotted them? Who knows, all right? Listen, life is not like a video game. You make choices, you don't look back, all right? You make choices to immediately preserve yourself. That's just how it goes. Then, of course, the problem is statistically a gun in your home is more likely to kill you than it is a home invader, where they're referencing the people who commit, the people who commit like suicide by gun, who possess firearms, which is absolutely a real thing. But of course, if you looked further than like one study, you'd realize that a lot of people who are doing that have a lot of mental health problems. Some of them end up being law enforcement officers or veterans, if you will, too. I'll leave you to further extrapolate on what I'm saying over there and why those statistics need to have further statistics to make context. But of course, then you get into motherfuckers salivating at the mouth to shoot someone. Again, I literally stated, I'm not horny to do anything. Do you understand how much of a traumatic experience it is to get into a gunfight and take a life? Very much so. But if it's your last resort to preserve you or your family, well, unfortunately, I personally believe self-defense is a human right and one should absolutely take care of themselves and the people that they love, all right? Especially when somebody is in their home threatening them, all right? Simple as that. Just how it goes. Now, I know that there's a million scenarios. Hey, maybe a homeless guy could on drugs broke into your house and they're not armed or anything. Again, you're really assuming this is a telltale game, and I have like 30 seconds to identify all the facts of the situation. All right, self-defense is often considered a human right, and it's one that I'm a complete advocate for. Simple as that. And of course, I'm sure that there's a lot of people in the internet clown world that disagree, but at some point you just have to state facts for the record and deal with it, okay? Simple as that. That's just how it goes. Yeah, this is one of my most controversial and hottest takes ever made. I might actually get removed, from life by making this, or maybe some losers on the internet are going to take it too hard. But at the end of the day, facts are facts, okay? And at some point you just have to live with them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comment section below. I'm not going to get mad. But yeah, I'm out.